Welcome to another episode of the Plant-Based Jan Adventure Series. It's easy to eat healthy at home. I'm here to show you it can be done on the road too. Today we're deep in Florida, flying around the Everglades. Florida, you've got the beaches, gorgeous beaches, and you can never get enough of them. Unless you go inland and to the Everglades, to the swamps where the alligators lurk and swim among cypress and sawgrass. That's where we're going, and the best way to get around is in an airboat. Airboat tour companies are dotted all over Florida where there's shallow water, which is almost everywhere. When you add the typical landscapes for airboat tours, you'll see that they are primarily in the central zone and certainly the southern Everglades zone. While the Everglades look like a big marsh or a swamp, it's actually a massive, slow-moving river to the south. None of it is very deep. It averages a depth of 4 to 6 feet, with the deepest being 9 feet. It's been called a river of grass. The national park is just part of the entire ecosystem. It stretches south and is interconnected with islands, thousands of islands. In fact, the name of the southern area is called 10,000 Islands. More than a century ago, the water in the Everglades started in the Kissimmee River and flowed through Lake Okeechobee. It actually flowed in a vast sheet across the southern part of the state. It has been reduced, estimated by about 50% since when they started putting the canals and the levees and the pumps in. So fast forward today, it's about 50% of what it was before man started working on it. It's one of the only places on Earth where you can see both crocodiles and alligators, but you won't see them together. The alligators live in the freshwater and the crocodiles live in the saltwater. There have also been over 350 species of birds identified. In the late 1800s, John Audubon wrote that there were so many that they actually blocked the sun. Today, because of the pythons and some other issues, you will not see as many birds, and that's unfortunate. On our trip, we did see quite a few, mostly the wading types of birds, the ones with long legs. According to Florida Fish and Wildlife, Lake Okeechobee has the most alligators. An estimated 30,000 live in Lake Okeechobee, but the highest concentration in a much smaller lake is Lake Jesup. Lake Jesup has an estimated 13,000 alligators in it, and like I said, it's much smaller. So that was exactly where I needed to go. We're going to hook up with the Black Hammock Airboat Tours. Unfortunately, we did not see one alligator in the wild at Lake Jesup. And we learned a lot from that trip. The alligators aren't necessarily out. It has to be the right time of year, it's got to be the right weather, and so on. So that is something you want to make sure you check, just to make sure you can see an alligator in the wild. I'm going to show you a detailed map of the road system of Florida. We will look at the southern state, or the southern part of the state very specifically. There are two main ways to get across the Everglades, and the first one is Highway 75. Highway 75 is also called Alligator Alley. It is a toll road, and this highway goes all the way up the western side of the state into the central part of Florida, all the way up there. So it's a very long, extensive freeway. This part of it historically was Alligator Alley until they built a very tall fence along the entire highway. So now you will not see any alligators, thankfully, because this is the fastest way to get from one side of the state to the other. And with the wildlife crossing over, there was just too many fatalities, including panthers. There were a few years there where there were a lot of panthers that were getting killed on the road. So they had enhanced the fence system here. That is Alligator Alley 75 to the north. The one that is fantastic and the one that is a sightseeing road is 41 down here. This is the southern one. And there's no fence. It's a 2-lane highway, and you will see a lot of wildlife, a lot of birds, alligators sitting on the side of the road if it's the right time of day. And this is the one that if you take this one, you're gonna wanna spend some time pulling off, checking things out. The secret road that we found, where you are pretty much guaranteed to see alligators, is Turner River Road. That's the secret bonus for watching this video. It is just east of Everglades City, and it's right in here. You will go north, and there's a little river, and we stopped counting the alligators the days that we were there. So many. Very cool. That's Highway 41. To ride an airboat inside the national park, there are just 3 authorized vendors, and they're all along Highway 41. Coopertown, Everglades Safari Park, and Gator Park. To experience a full sampling of airboat rides and tours, we had started checking them off a list. We did a lake, that was Lake Jesup. We rode a bigger touristy boat with 10 other people in the Fort Lauderdale area. That one included a full alligator show. We hired a private owner and a captain off of Highway 70 for a couple hours. Now, we wanted to check out the commerce in the stone crab capital of the world, also one of the entrances to the Everglades National Park. most importantly, many airboat companies, and that is Everglades City. I'll show you around Everglades City. I just love it. It's a slice of life, old Florida. You've got holes in the wall bars, you've got mom and pop businesses, you've got the fishing commerce, you have a little bit of tourism. You just really have it all going on. Luxury? Maybe not, but if you want character and if you want the old Florida feel and vibe, this is the city you want to check out. Actually, it's a little town, let's not call it a city, but that's its name. You will see a lot of airboat tours and guides in and around Everglades City. Just to name a few, Captain Jack's, Speedy's, Down South, Jungle Herbs, Captain Doug's, Wooten's, Captain Mitch's, Everglade Island Boat Tours. One of the things that I found was, as I looked at price menus in a few of the big names, I noticed they were all exactly the same. And I asked somebody, and a few of the big names are owned by the same company. So something to consider when you're looking around at the different airboat tours. You want to see where they go exactly on the map and how they might be different. They all have good reviews, so I don't think you can really go wrong. Speedy Airboat Tours, Everglades City. There are a ton of airboat companies here, but we did a little checking, and this one actually goes out 1,100 acres into a variety, so the mangroves, the grasses, all of that. So we're really excited to take this out in just a few minutes. We're back from our amazing airboat ride tour. We saw all the different kinds of mangroves, the grasses, saw a gator out probably about 8 feet. The water's a little bit high, and so there weren't that many out, but we did have Captain Greg drive the boat. He is actually a real live gator hunter. That's what he does for one of his side jobs. So it was a great experience. As we traveled around seeking out the airboats and alligators, we also found another famous Florida item, which is the oranges. The orange groves are just beautiful. We stopped in and picked up a few oranges. They're the perfect snack to put in your cooler, ice cold, especially for those really hot Florida days. They're really great for you. Tons of fiber, water, calcium, vitamin C. So just a little pick-me-up. Stop and get some oranges. Okay, I just wanted to show you we're on a river road. What is it called? Turner River Road. Yep. Anyway, this is kind of like splits right down the Everglades, and we found a little friend here. He's a baby. We have seen, I would estimate, about 40 big guys laying on the banks, but this guy, he can still do some damage, you know, like if he bit you, but I don't think he really wants to come close or anything. I kind of want to pet him, but his teeth are sharper than...
Right, yeah, big one.
There's some good ones along this road we see.
He's backing up. Would they lunge at you or anything?
I don't think he would. He's little.
Yeah.
He's not going to do a lot of damage.
So we are stopping for a quick little lunch break in the afternoon, and you can hear the distant roar of the airboats all over the place, swamp buggies. So this is pretty exciting. We've seen about, I would say 50, 60 big size alligators. We also saw a little baby one in the middle of the road, took some footage of him, so I'll show you that. And so now we're gonna have our plant-based lunch. One thing that I find, well, I would say, I'm gonna say slightly distressing, is you look at all these alligators, you look at all this natural habitat, and then a lot of what people are eating, alligator tail sandwiches, things like that. So I have brought a great plant-based lunch. It's my kind of my typical stuff that I do in the motel. Chopped vegetables, really great salad. I've got a wrap. So we've got some really good lunch to eat as we go through these Everglades. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment with any question you have. We'll see you next time.